You ever have those mornings where you walk into the shop and the air just smells like possibilities and maybe a hint of a failing capacitor? It's Thursday, March 19th, 2026, and I'm feeling like we're standing on the edge of a very weird, very high-tech cliff.
Is that the smell of possibility, or did you leave the soldering iron on again? Because honestly, Tiger, with you, it's a coin toss.
Well, the shop is still standing, so we're ahead of the curve. But speaking of curves, have you looked at what's coming out of the Taiwan International Machine Tool Show this week? It's making my old manual lathe look like a spinning rock. They're talking about seamless digital twins.
Okay, hold on. Digital twins sounds like a sci-fi movie where the robots eventually decide we're obsolete. What does that actually mean for a guy who just wants to turn a brass fitting?
It's wild. The software creates a virtual ghost of your machine. It tracks the vibrations, the heat, the microscopic dulling of the edge, and it simulates the disaster before it happens in the real world. Imagine knowing your drill bit is going to snap 3 minutes before it actually happens. It's like having a crystal ball that only cares about metallurgy.
That's impressive, but let's be real. Most of our listeners aren't running million-dollar factory floors. They're in garages or on job sites. Does the high-tech stuff actually trickle down to us mortals?
That's the secret, Alex. It's landing right now. There's a new compact plasma system that just hit the shelves. It's built for harsh environments. Basically, it's a tool for people who work in the real world, where it's humid, dusty, and your shop roof might have a leak you've been ignoring since 2024. It's portability without the usual, oops, I dropped it, and now it's a paperweight factor.
I'll believe the water-resistant claim when I see you dragging it through a puddle. But while we're talking about harsh environments, let's talk about the economy. The February numbers are in for the trades, and it's a bit of a head-scratcher.
Yeah, the wind shifted a bit. We lost some ground overall, but if you look at the non-residential side, the big infrastructure, the commercial skeletons, it added over 4,000 jobs. The market is getting picky. It's not just about having a pair of boots and a pulse anymore. Demand for new bodies is sitting around 350,000, which feels a bit thin compared to the gold rush we had a few years ago.
So what's the move? If I'm a young electrician or a welder looking at those numbers, do I start sweating?
If you're just a guy with a wrench, maybe. But the specialists, the folks with the certifications in complex HVAC or heavy civil engineering, they're basically gold. This is the year where you stop being a Swiss Army knife and start being a scalpel. Find the one thing everyone else hates doing because it's too complicated or requires a boring 3-week certification course and go own it. That's how you stay unfireable.
Be the scalpel. I like that. Though knowing your history with sharp objects, maybe pick a different metaphor?
Hey, I still have 9.5 very functional fingers. That's a passing grade in my book.
Speaking of keeping it professional, let's talk about the maker mogul side of things. I was looking at the 2026 Instagram Insights this morning, and Tiger, the pretty era, is officially in the dumpster. The polished aesthetic, where everything looks like a high-end kitchen catalog, dead, gone, buried in sawdust.
Thank the maker. I was getting tired of trying to hide the piles of scrap wood in the corner of my shots.
Good news then, because the algorithm wants the mess now. Authenticity is the only thing moving the needle. It's fast edits, raw shop footage, and get this, text on screen is non-negotiable. Apparently, no one listens to us. They just read us while they're sitting in line for coffee.
It's a shift, for sure. People want to see the fail of the Friday. They want to see the joint that didn't fit or the finish that bubbled up because you didn't wait for the humidity to drop. It's about building a repeatable format that feels like a conversation, not a commercial. If you're trying to sell your work online and you're only posting the final, perfect result, you're invisible. Show the scars, show the grit.
So you're saying I should post that video of you accidentally gluing your sleeve to that dining table last month?
I mean, it would probably get 1 million views. People love a tragedy in 3 acts.
All right, let's bring it home for the DIY crowd. There's a lot of noise out there. I saw a video yesterday claiming you can make a $6,000 table out of a pallet. Is that real, or are we just breathing in too many finish fumes?
It's a half-truth wrapped in a clickable title. Look, can you take reclaimed lumber and turn it into a high-end piece of art? Absolutely. But you don't do it with a hammer and a prayer. You do it with precision. If you're building your shop right now, don't get distracted by the gadgets that promise to do the work for you.
Okay, give us the no-nonsense list. If I'm starting today and I want to actually build something that doesn't wobble, what am I buying?
5 things, that's it. A reliable table saw, that's the heart. A miter saw for the limb work. A high-torque drill and driver set. An orbital sander, and please, for the love of your elbows, don't buy the cheapest one at the big box store. Get one that actually collects the dust. And finally, a solid router.
No fancy dovetail jigs, no $500 laser levels.
Save your money. I've seen people buy a $2,000 jig and they still can't cut a straight line with a handsaw. Learn to feel the wood first, get a set of chisels, keep them sharp enough to shave with, and learn to trust your eyes. The Essential 5 will get you through 90% of the projects you'll ever want to build. The rest of that stuff is it's just shiny clutter until you've earned the right to use it.
Shiny clutter. I'm pretty sure that was the title of your autobiography, Tiger.
Guilty as charged. I've got a drawer full of labor-saving tools that have never seen the light of day because at the end of the day, there's no substitute for just sitting there and doing the work.
That feels like the takeaway for today, honestly. Whether it's high-tech digital twins in Taiwan or a reclaimed pallet in your garage, the tools are only as good as the person holding them.
Exactly. Don't wait for the perfect economy or the perfect tool to start. The world is changing fast, and the only way to stay on top is to keep your hands busy and your ego small.
Spoken like a man who just realized he has to go back and edit those fail of the Friday videos.
You know it. Stay hungry, stay humble, and for heaven's sake, keep your fingers clear of the blade. We'll see you next time in the den.
See ya.